All right, everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Late Night Crap Talk. Let's get that clock reset a little bit to read 10 minutes. There we go. So here we are. We are live on the Facebook and YouTube and Twitch channels of A Dancing Bear Indian Trader and Elk Rack Traders. Brand new show this week. We are bringing back awesome guest, returning guest, Cheyenne Faulkner, who is serving as the UCLA Pow Wow Coordinator for this year's Pow Wow coming up. First full weekend of May. I believe it's the 4th and 5th. I have to look at a calendar. But right now, we're just having Savannah. She's running a little bit late, so she'll be on here real soon.
You can eat.
Look at that calendar. It's going to be May 7th and 8th, I believe. I will double check that right there. I just be bad with all kinds of timing. Sure. Savannah, you ready to pop in now?
Oh my goodness.
There you are. All evening for you.
Aw, thank you, James. I'm sorry. Mochi's tummy is being weird, so
That's not good.
yeah. So I cooked him up and I scrambled him an egg and heated up some tortillas and cut them into little pieces, and he's kind of eating it. So
Gotcha.
he needs something
Just
a little
checking
bit.
our channels, making sure we're good. All right, we're live on both channels.
Yay!
Hoorah.
Thank you,
Let me do a
James,
little
for
share.
setting up tonight. I appreciate it.
What's that?
I said I appreciate you setting everything up tonight.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, share to feed. I'm sharing right here. We are live. Whoops. Me and typing. For this week's episode of Late Night Craft Talk with special guest Cheyenne Faulkner.
Woohoo!
Hoorah! Cheyenne's fourth time on the show.
She's
16 and a half more times. She'll beat Dave Uchonsky.
Yeah, you know what? Then we'll give her a green jacket.
Just like on SNL.
Yeah.
She could be at the Five Timers Club, come out there with a nice, nice jacket.
It says Late Night Craft Talk in the corner. It has a special little crest.
Yeah, and there's a masseuse.
It's hand beaded and it's hand beaded and hand quilled.
Yeah, along with the fine slippers made with moose hide
And rabbit fur.
Angora fur inserts.
Yes.
And little squeaky balls in the bottom. So when they walk in, it goes squeak, squeak, squeak. All right. Went nowhere with that.
Good boy, Mochi. Good boy. Yes. Good.
Okay. And post. I posted it. Let's see who else is watching. We got a lot of people watching. Everybody, let us know who you are, where you're from. Let's see who else is joining the party tonight. Okay, so we have.
I'm gonna go grab my phone really quick because I don't know where my phone is.
Do you want me to call it?
No, it's okay.
Okay, everybody. Well, Savea's gone right now. At approximately 10:03, start commenting. Savea, Mochi smells like an egg. Mochi spelled M-O-C-H-I. Because she cooked your egg for a dog because it wasn't feeling well. And then at 10:05, some of you take Savea, are you back? Okay, she's still gone. At 10:05, leave comments that, hey, Savea, your eyebrows are uneven. So you got your assignments, everybody. All right, we're starting. Got a few people right here. We got some comments going on. People. Okay, 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Hello, Daniel. We have hello, Daniel from the Prairie Band of Potawatomi Nation. First time watching and looking for beads. Cool. This is a weekly show that Dancing Bear Indian Trader and Elk Rack Traders puts on about people that are artists that are inspiring in their field, and sometimes we'll explore some other fun subjects. We'll be talking about UCLA Pow Wow tonight. And I hear Savea zipping something in the background.
Yeah, I'm here. I heard what you said. I was just pretending to not be here because I wanted to hear what you were going to say.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
And my eyebrows are straight because they're natural. Oh, my goodness.
You did listen in.
Yeah.
Why are you looking at my private conversations with the audience?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I upset you?
No, not at all.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just kind of used to it. Oh,
Craziness.
craziness. All right,
Yeah.
we're going to tell some fun powwow stories tonight. Matter of fact, for the first time since 2019, the calendar is crowded with powwows.
I know. It's kind of crazy. It's like a
I'm loving it. I am loving it. There's still a few I want to see to come back. We don't know if they will. It's definitely changed the landscape, but there's all kinds of cool stuff popping up saying our powwow's back, our powwow's back. And funnest of all, Pechanga powwow's back.
I know. That's really great.
Yep. Karen Lee. Hello. Karen Lee from South Dakota got back and last from weekend's Denver March powwow. That's right. Denver March just happened. I don't think Denver March happened in 2020. Karen Lee, give us a little description. Tell us how it went. And I do see that we have watching the president of the Friday Ninja Monster Hunter Squad.
Yes.
You got to sound off.
Yes. And Maya, her doggy, just like Mochi, is having like a little bit of a tummy trouble right now. So Mochi he's I don't know. It's weird. Like the last couple of days, he hasn't really been super hungry. And this morning when I got home, I'll tell you guys about it in a little bit. But when I got home, he started like throwing up grass because I guess he was eating grass. So he definitely, his tummy isn't feeling very good right now.
Gotcha. Well, Daniel just commented that Denver March Powwow is amazing on powwows.com. I missed that. I wasn't home much last weekend, but I'd be gluing. I'm going to be looking back on that on their stream.
I know, right?
Yeah. That is, I know so many people that go to that say it's an amazing powwow.
Yeah.
It's a lot bigger than the one over at the county fairgrounds in Ridgecrest, California.
Yeah.
Which the last time I was at, they had like 8 dancers on Sunday afternoon.
I've just heard that's a really good powwow. The March.
Denver March?
Yeah.
Heard it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And just to see all those fabulous dancers, some of the greatest dancers in the country out there in the arena after a couple of years, gotta fill the spirit with all kinds of hope and awesomeness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's huge. I mean, when Paula brought back their gathering for their Koopa Cultural Days in May, was the first native gathering anything in Southern California, anything. And the bird singers were out there and some of their exhibitions. They only did local vendors, local stuff. And, people are just like, thank you for doing this. This is, they social distance. A lot of everybody's wearing masks, but it was so amazing to see everybody in one place again. You don't know what you have until you lose it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it was amazing. And that's just a little bit of, revisited tonight. Sabea, we got 1 minute, 57 seconds.
I know. Can you believe it?
I can.
It's just going by so fast.
Yeah. It does.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm going to do for the next minute and a half.
I know.
Oh, it took 6 drums to do grand entry for Denver March powwow. Oof. How long was the grand entry, Daniel?
That's not true.
Longest grand entry I've seen was in Tulsa, Oklahoma back in the late 90s. Was a 2.5-hour grand entry to bring all the dancers in.
My Mochi.
Huge.
What a good boy you are. What a good boy, Mochi. Yes. You want to go eat some more egg and tortilla? He is a spoiled dog.
Tortillas. Almost time for countdown.
He's like, I don't want to eat my dog food, so I'm going to get sick because I don't eat my dog food. And then I say, okay, well, let me make you an egg. And you want an egg and some tortilla?
You know what? I actually I tried it. I won't say invented it, but I'll take credit. Nacho breakfast.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Egg and cheese and bacon mixed with nacho chips. And it was nacho cheese with egg and nacho cheese breakfast. Nacho breakfast. Good. I went, this is slick. It'll beat anything at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
All right. Almost time for countdown.
My goodness, you're right. It's almost time.
I know. I don't know what we're going to do to kill 10 seconds. I will take tune for Mary Poppins.
Oh,
by the time I make up my mind, it'll be time for countdown.
Please don't count. Please don't sing.
Okay, and then 10,
9,
8,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2,
1. Let's get this
showtime!
Woohoo!
It's time for Late Night Craft Talk with hosts Abaya Kamori Yang and James Hermes. On tonight's show, Cheyenne Faulkner, the UCLA Pow Wow Coordinator. How many Pow Wow MCs that start on time does it take to change a light bulb? As far as we know, there's no such thing that exists. It's time to start the show. Hi, Cheyenne.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, we'll go with it. We'll go with it.
So for those of you who haven't watched our show yet, we do the show on a weekly basis. It's most of the time 99% live. We do this show to promote local artists, small businesses. We also try to promote cultural events like what we're doing tonight. We both have our own prospective businesses that actually are very involved in powwows. So, and with powwow starting up again this year, which is very exciting and exhausting in my mind, thinking of like what we had to do that again, because we had a couple year break, right? So if you've watched this show for the first time, hello, thank you for checking in, and please subscribe to our channels. We have several that we are offering today to you. We have Facebook, we have YouTube, we have Twitch, and I'm sure you would be very, very entertained with every week all of our good stuff we have going on.
Absolutely.
So James, hey, what's been going on with Elk Rack today or this week? Today
we got a show calendar. Was at Palm Springs Village Fest last night. Of course, the weekly art market that we do, but starting to get more word of other pals that are coming back, filling up that calendar. It's getting busy in September and October.
yes.
Look, when I picked a two-week kayak trip, boy, I'm going to be hitting the ground leaving and hitting the ground running when I come back. But still working on more of the fans from the feathers we were able to get with the Royal Palm Turkey and whatnot. Those will be listed. I was going to bring them out, but kind of ran short of time, and they won't show up at the chroma key behind me.
Yeah, they won't.
That won't work out well. But so we still have a lot of that. But it's just neat to see the POW calendar starting to work. Come. We have our first show of the year, our first weekend show outside of Palm Springs coming up. April. I will dig it out and look at the calendar. Coming up, April 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, we will be at Lakeside Rodeo. Start over there in Lakeside, California, near San Diego. And our next show coming up, I can't wait. It's my second longest running show I've been doing. I've been doing it since the mid-1990s. Koopa Cultural Days. We'll be there in first weekend of May.
Nice.
Looking forward to it. So what's going on with Dancing Bear Indian Trader?
Well, we found out last week we got accepted at Stanford Pow Wow. Although there is competition to UCLA, we are going to be at Stanford. We applied for it several months ago. I think we applied in December, and we got in. So we're really excited. We're going to be there. But of course, we want to support Cheyenne. So if you guys are in Southern California, make sure to go to the UCLA Pow Wow. And then on top of that, we're still working on grad stoles. We have another batch of grad stoles that we're working on. So we have a whole bunch of maroon ones we just got in that are ready to go and ready to ship. And we also have a whole bunch of turquoise ones that are coming out, and they'll be ready soon. So that's pretty exciting. And that's pretty much what's been going on with Dancing Bear.
Gotcha. I'm going to go ahead and share, since we've been talking about the POWs that are coming up. I'm going to come up with a some quick flyers right here to show everybody. Let me get it up so we can just go over our POW calendar, because we haven't been able to do this in a while. Pretty awesome. So we'll see if it shares the correct screen. Yes, it did. First off, coming up, we're playing favorites tonight. UCLA Pow Wow coming out.
Yay!
6th, 7th, and 8th, 2022. And with that one, we also have coming up. Come on, dang advance. Bear with me. Why aren't you advancing? There we go. Coming up also, May 13th, May 14th, and 15th, the 34th annual Balboa Park Pow Wow.
Yay.
Yep, coming up. And then we also have Saquon Pow Wow coming up September 9th and 10th and 11th. Some of these are definitely not in chronological order.
Okay, because I was going to say Verona.
Huh?
I said
I know it's
Verona.
not in chronological order because it's not coming out that way with this.
Yes.
For Big Pine, California, Youth Powwow coming up.
Yes.
And July 2nd through the 3rd.
Yes.
There's the one you will see both Elk Rack Traders at and Dancing Bear Indian Trader is the 50th
Verona.
annual. 50th.
Wow.
It's not quite as old enough for ARP, but it's been around a while. 50th annual Verona Powwow. You will see both of us there.
Yay.
That's a fun one. It's one of my personal favorites.
Yay.
And also we have the Big Sandy Ranchera 21st annual Powwow and Gathering coming up May 14th and 15th.
Mm-hmm.
And save the date, 39th annual UC Riverside Powwow. Looks like it's going to be Memorial Day weekend.
Yay.
That's the one that used to be Medicine Ways, wasn't it?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, that used to be Medicine Ways Powwow.
Mm-hmm.
So it is back.
Yay. Yay.
Yeah, let me see if there's any more powwows. Nope, that was the last of the powwow flyers.
So someone said that next weekend is SDSU powwow. So I'm not sure if that's this coming weekend. I haven't really been.
Glad to know that. Thank you for letting us know that. We'll look that up and see if we can share that by the end of the
Oh,
show.
and then UCSD also. Okay.
Yeah, I see this San Diego State Powwow University coming up. Yep, April 9th.
All right. This is really great.
Right here. We also have, I just want to do this one. That's one I kind of, one of my personal favorite I'm looking at. Okay, the 28th annual Ohlone Big Time Powwow coming up at Tony Serta Park in Pomona, California, April 28th and 23rd and 24th. I'll be at Lakeside Rodeo, but I've AD'd for that powwow before. Very much enjoyed. Good little community powwow. So, folks, they're on the calendar. It's happening.
Yes. Okay. So we can start talking about what our guests we have on right now.
Absolutely. So normally we do this and we do a fun segue to bring in this week's guest. Cheyenne's like, I'm here now. I have come. I have made the drive. I am showing up. I want equal video time. So we're like, yes. All right. So everybody, welcome Cheyenne Faulkner.
Yay, Cheyenne.
How you doing?
So I just wanted to say I am really proud of you for taking on this crazy task. It's not crazy. It's a big task. I think that's really awesome that you are taking this and running with it. I've been working at a powwow since 95, and I know it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, a lot of stuff. Did you realize in the beginning how much you would be taking on by taking on this role? Did you realize at all how big this is?
Yes and no. I've been to tons of powwows. I've been a vendor. I've been a dancer. So I feel like I kind of knew what was happening. But like, there's a lot of other things that just like the fact that it's a powwow that's like hosted by UCLA, that like there's like educational hoops that I had to kind of jump through, which I wasn't really aware of. And so like navigating all of that has been like just really crazy.
Yeah.
So, but how much?
Go ahead.
Sometimes I think there's a little pause. I'll ask my question. The Savea talks, and I'm going, because I kind of think about interrupting people, and I try.
I know he always likes to interrupt. He interrupts. He always interrupts.
Yeah, the same time ever. We did it. So the last time there was a UCLA Pow, obviously, going to be 2019.
2018 was the last.
2018. So how much are you having to create from scratch on this one?
Basically everything. Part of like what I'm trying to do with the powwow is make it a better event than it has been in the past. I've heard like kind of, it's usually a smaller powwow, but I think coming back from how many years we haven't had it, I'm trying to like make steps so that it can be a more mainstream powwow rather than like a powwow that like people like, oh, that like little powwow at UCLA. So I'm trying to make it better. And also I'm trying to make it so that the coordinators that come after me have a path where planning it will be easier, because there's so many things that I've just had to like figure out that like nobody knew, that I just had to like be like, all right, well, I'm just going to do this. And then hopefully it all works out. So yeah, it's just a lot of things since we haven't had this powwow in a long time that everything kind of has to just like be refreshed and like redone.
Gotcha. Was there any faculty that are veterans of helping organize the powwows, or was it just you?
Right now, it's just me. I have talked to a couple alumni that are helping out with getting us like certain venues for head staff, but most of the bulk of the work right now is just me. Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm waiting for Savannah to talk so we can talk at the same time again.
I gotta like just pretend to be like,
We'll see what you do with ventriloquism. So Savannah will ask a question. It'll be my voice. So she'll just move her mouth and let's see what happens here so we can do the talking over.
Okay, go ahead.
Ready, Savannah? Start.
Yeah.
So I've got another question for you. Right now, I just have to comment that James is my hero. Best person that's ever lived. Thank you, Savannah. And so how much from your POW experience in Southern California have you been able to like draw off of from friends that have served head staff?
Well, I have just tons of connections, so finding head staff really wasn't too big of a deal either. Everybody on our head staff list pretty much I know on like a personal level, so it was more of a matter of just like asking people. I didn't really have too much difficulty finding people to be head staff, and then also I've made a couple new connections like with drum groups, which is something that I didn't have a lot of connections with, but I think moving forward, I probably will now. As far as like the princess pageant aspect of it, all of that has been new to me. So like all of those connections are pretty much brand new to me.
So you've had to hold a princess, pick out a powwow princess for this year, do a pre-pageant and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Who are, do you have a powwow list or a flyer listed with the head staff who's going to be there so far?
I do, yes.
Was it the one that you sent us?
I'm not sure. Yes, it's the one that I sent you, yeah.
Okay, because it's totally not the one I put up.
I know, I made two because I didn't have all the head staff yet when I had made the flyer, but I wanted to get it out there. So I made like a save the day one and then one with everybody on it.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, you know, so now that you know, like what are the things that you are going through right now that you want to if you want to share of anything that you found really interesting that so you when you came into this position, did you find anything interesting that you didn't expect when you were starting to do this powwow?
Yeah, there was a couple things like big from like UCLA. A lot of the funding that we get comes from UCLA, so it's not like a tribe is funding us. So I have to go through all of these funding applications to send to UCLA, and then I have to like cross my fingers that they're going to give us money. So that's just been like something that's completely different to me, which is like not something that like I didn't really think about. I mean, I knew powwows were pretty expensive, but usually like tribes help out with that. And I reached out to a couple tribes, but it's a mostly UCLA funded event. So that was really interesting. And then I'm completely new to princess pageants. When I danced, I did not do pageants. That just wasn't really something I did. I knew people who did them. So learning about protocols for princess pageants is completely new. And, in the powwow space, it's really all about the protocols and making sure you're doing everything right. So I'm always talking to people, be like, hey, is this okay? Or how does this work with this, and that? And then also talking to like previous Miss UCLAs to, kind of figure out how that whole process works. That's been completely new.
Let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's go from the foundation. Since you're pretty much going 95%, I would say maybe 99% ground up on this one. When you first found out you're doing this, I assume it was in the last couple of months.
Yeah, I found out. Well, I got kind of.
Were you volunteer or voluntold?
I volunteered to do it because no one else was going to do it. So I was like, I have to do it. So I voluntold myself to do it.
All right. So first thing you do, you look for funding. Did you have to put together a budget?
I did. I had to put together a budget.
Yeah. What did you have any kind of template or anything you could go off from another powwow about the budget? What kind of numbers you needed?
Yeah, we had a previous budget from what it was supposed to be in 2019 when that powwow didn't happen. So I basically went through and it was like all the honorariums and like what we would pay for the dance contest, drum contest, and I went through all of that. Some of it I changed. I combined some categories, and I started out with that, and then I started moving on to like individual parts, like how much the powwow committee special, how much we're willing to spend on baskets, on whatever we want to do for our giveaway, and then all of the other things like we have to pay for, like where we're going to have the powwow, we have to pay for all that staffing, and then any other expenses that come along with like having ASA, the native group at UCLA, they have a booth. So we sell t-shirts and stuff like that. So I had to do a budget for the t-shirts. And then also something I didn't think about was, you know, the numbers that all the dancers have, you know, finding where you can get those printed and like what design you're going to do, designing a t-shirt and like how much all that's going to cost is something that really have
All
to
those little things add up. Are your head staff all local so they can stay at their house, or are you having to get hotel rooms for them?
I'm doing hotel rooms for all of our head staff just because that's what we've done in the past. And I always think that that's like a nice thing. When I was head staff, they always did rooms and I just always found that really nice. So I think they appreciate it.
So, I mean, we're already talking. There's a lot of people don't realize that head staff are paid.
Yeah.
It's not like a profession. It's done as a thank you to
Yes.
do this. And so they don't realize that, you know, head girl, MC, whatnot are all paid.
Generally, the drum groups are all housed and they're also paid for transportation and food. So a lot of people don't think about this for powwows. They're like, oh, yeah, you can just throw a powwow together. Well, it's quite a lot of stuff that you have to kind of manage.
Mm-hmm.
And there are expenses that go along with these powwows. Knowing, and you know, I know because of being involved with our powwow, and it's very, very awesome that UCLA is being involved with funding this event, because it really is for the school to give back, and this is an awesome way to do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when you're already talking about that with the head staff, looks like you got about 7 people on your head staff, not including the host northern and host southern drum. And that's just individuals right there. And then there's, you know, 2 nights in a hotel room. You're already looking at $2,000, $3,000 right there.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a bit more. And you know, that is not cheap, especially in a, you know, tight budget time. Then you start bringing out the drum. Are you having to pay for security?
That's all included with whatever venue costs. UCLA, for events, they kind of have that standard.
Okay.
Yeah,
and then plus the food costs, and food costs are going right now.
Yeah.
You know, easily you're getting into, just off the top of my head from this. You don't need, it's none of our business to confirm the numbers or anything what you're doing, but easily off the top of my head, I'm usually quick with budgets for special events. Right there, you're looking at $2,000. You're looking at right now $4,000 to $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the travel expenses. I don't think you're bringing anybody from out of state, but that's not a small amount of money.
No.
And just getting that secured, getting the head staff done and everything like that. It's expensive, as Saveo's saying.
And it's just, you know, it just always would amaze me when people would say, oh, well, you know, they're not working that hard, or the staff, the committee isn't working that hard, or this is a lame powwow, or I've heard all kinds of stuff, because I've worked that powwow many years, and just, you hear all kinds of, you know, you have your a lot of great positives, and then you have the few negatives, and it's like, oh, really? But we worked so hard. So, but we wanted to kind of show everyone, and kind of talk about how much work goes into making a powwow, because I think a lot of people, as just being attendees, they don't necessarily realize it's really a lot of heart that goes into it.
Right.
A lot of heart.
Really mm-hmm.
A lot of heart.
How many powwow committee meetings have you already had?
I had one initial committee meeting with everybody from ASA, which is our native group on campus. But, you know, as college students are busy, it's been pretty difficult to kind of make sure that everybody is able to participate in some way. And so most of the nitty-gritty stuff that I've just been doing but definitely they'll be voluntold by me what they're going to be doing moving into this next quarter. So
sounds like you learn a new word you like.
Yes, I like that. I didn't even think about that word. I just can call it bossing, but I think voluntelling is better.
It sounds less alpha. I'll put it that. I guess that's one way to describe it. Less confrontational, I guess. More truth in the matter. So typically, are you having the committee meetings about once every 2 weeks, once every month, or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're pretty spread out for right now, but as the event gets closer, it'll be more probably on a weekly basis, and it'll probably honestly be like everybody comes to me every day needing something else.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's probably what that will look like.
Gotcha. Have you created like a playbook, a calendar, a schedule of what needs to be accomplished on what dates?
Yes, mostly the most big deadlines are just like the funding applications that have hard deadlines that we need to hit. But other than that, I've pretty much I want to have everything done by the end of April so that going into May, it's like any last minute things that didn't work out, like printing and stuff like that. But I don't want to have a huge stress like that first weekend or whatever. So
you want all of it done. Seriously, like you want to get your checklist and you get everything done so then you don't stress about things last minute. It's crazy if you don't.
Right. Yeah.
So how has it been like juggling schoolwork and doing this coordinator? I mean, how has that been for you? Has it been difficult?
Yeah, so this past quarter, I took 4 classes. And then I also was doing powwow stuff. And so just like I had no time for anything whatsoever. Like I didn't even have time to do beading stuff. Like I think I did one event and like that was it. Cause there were so many nights I stayed up late trying to finish funding applications, sending emails, writing up vendor applications and making sure like I can send out this many applications and how many vendor spots do I have? And like, is this okay? And then also there are certain COVID protocols.
Yes.
Just it's UCLA and we as students have protocols. So they have protocols for events. And because it's non-UCLA members that will also be coming, that's a whole nother thing that I have to, work with. So that just like makes it even harder.
Well, just another layer.
Mm-hmm.
You secure public safety on this one, and you definitely don't want anybody, making this a super spreader event,
right. Mm-hmm.
On that. So, brain fart. I had a really good question on this one. Brain in the way of brain.
So,
brains. Okay.
Did you come up with your t-shirt design already?
I did. It's really cute. It's going to be a bear with the medicine wheel colors, and it's just going to say like 37th annual UCLA Pow Wow. I went back and forth because the crown is going to have a bear on it. Just a little spoiler for everybody. I know it looks like, but nobody else does. But yeah, the crown is going to have a bear on it. We haven't had a bear on the crown. Since a couple years ago, they did one with a bear on it. Every other one hasn't had one. So I really wanted to put the bear aspect back into the powwow because that's like our logo for the school.
That's cool.
So it's going to be really cute. They are going to be for sale at the powwow. So I'm going to try and order lots so that everyone can have one.
Okay. I just found out today that in the movie Titanic that the Titanic sank, and now you tell me the bear's going to have a crown.
Yes.
You gave away the plot.
Yes.
So James,
I have no goals in life now.
Did it ruin your night? I mean, it fully ruined your night?
Not entirely, but once you go with the questions, you said something earlier that gave me a new goal. So I'm going to go over and try to enter the contest. So give me a second.
He wants to join the pageant, just so you know.
Oh, yes.
Trying to predict me.
He's going to be one of the pageant participants.
Oh my God.
I would love it if everyone would encourage James in the comments to join the UCLA pageant princess line.
I love it.
I'm sure that he would totally win.
I love it. I think it's good.
We're not trying to get any favoring right now, having you on the show and trying to be extra nice to you.
Oh, he's not. I saw something out over there. Okay.
Yeah, I know. He's getting ready. As you know, I didn't want to give you too many hints, but he's ready.
I love it.
Yeah. So, what are you looking forward to for this powwow? Because I mean, this is it's pretty awesome. I'm excited about it.
I'm just looking forward to it happening and just like knowing that once grand entry on Friday has happened, I'll be happy that at least I know that it's going on. That'll be perfect for me.
I couldn't find a tiara, so this is the best I could do. Can I enter the
I like it.
Can I be the Power Princess competition too?
I like it. I agree. I vote that you can.
All right, when's the pageant to choose the Power Princess?
The pageant is gonna be on Thursday, right before the powwow. So we'll have all the princesses come and all of the judges come to do like the cultural aspect, the interview aspect, and all of those things. And then the crowning of Miss UCLA will be on Saturday, which is the 7th. And so obviously throughout the powwow, they'll be selling raffle tickets. They'll be doing public speaking parts like right after grand entry. So we're really excited. We haven't had anything in a while. So
Okay. So I need to share this comment because it's hilarious. Wendy says James should join the pageant. He knows how to do lipsticks and facials.
I do. I lacked on the facials, but I was killer on the lipstick.
I like it.
We had to do that a couple months ago for like a Rocky Horror Picture Show themed opening to the show. And I put on the lipstick so we could get the whole mouth going and singing the song for Science Fiction Theater 3000.
Yeah.
And I put on the lipstick just to get it going. And it was enough that I had to go over to local Walgreens and buy the lipstick. I coming back, I put it on, and I took a selfie with it going, "This is funny." And somebody goes, I got a couple comments going, "Is that the first time you put on lipstick?" I said, "Yes." I went, "That is really good." And I went, "I'm good at something in this life."
Yes, here.
But
Karen says,
just as the three of us with a bunch of people walking on the internet, watching on the internet, just between all of us, how good are my chances at Power Princess?
I mean, as long as you got cultural dress, I mean,
you're gonna have some pretty stiff competition. You're gonna have some really
cowboy hat.
Really difficult competition, James. I mean, it's like
I'll get him on the public speaking. Watch this. I've done this before on the public speaking for Power Princess. I'll go up there in my men's fancy shawl.
Yes.
And I'll go, hey,
right.
I want to be the Power Princess. I'm pretty. I dance very well. And I can spell my name.
Yes.
With help.
So just to give you guys a small disclaimer, we're just being silly. We're not trying to discount any pageant in any way.
I'm actually making fun of my now here Oklahoma accent.
Yes. Yes. So okay. So who
I'm
are
going to wear my feather boa.
So let's talk about the head staff.
Yeah.
Who is going to be the head staff at the powwow this year?
So for our MC, we're gonna have Ben Hale, and then
Ben.
Yeah. He's so sweet. Talked to him a couple of times. The Hales, like some of those family members, they're really sweet. The arena director is going to be Richard DeCrane.
Friend of the show, Richard DeCrane. We've had him on the show a number of times.
Yeah. I know him personally. He's awesome, and he's been at tons of powwows recently as arena director. Head judge is going to be Lambert Yazzie. He's been the head judge for the UCLA Powwow for many, many, many years. So
okay, just so you know, Lambert is ASU.
Really? Oh yeah.
Talk to him about that.
I'm trying to be welcoming to our guest, and Savea's doing the whole college, rivalry thing.
I'm not.
I'm being welcoming and saying because honestly, I'm a USC fan. But anyway,
I'm just stating facts because I've worked with Lambert since pretty much 90, I'd say maybe 96 or 97. I've worked with him at the ASU powwow.
Yeah, but see, when you talk about it, it's your tone of voice right there. It's like when I was do Power Princess, I try to do a nose communicative, honest tone, but you're going, oh, but it's a fact.
It is a fact. Lambert is also ASU. I have lots of pictures of Lambert wearing ASU hats, ASU shirts, ASU this, ASU that. So I'm not like making it up, James.
No, you're not. But let me go ahead and interpret your body movement. He's from ASU. He's also from ASU, not from UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell a USC joke?
Sure.
What's UCLA stand for?
Oh, I've heard that. I don't remember though.
University of Children of Lesser Attainment. Okay.
Yeah. That I've heard that.
It's very strongly ingrained with USC culture in me. Sorry, but not like ASU. All right, back to subject. Head board manager Steve Bohe. He's been around a while.
Yeah, he's been the head board at our powwow since we started having it in like the 90s or the 80s when we started having the powwow. And he actually donated an eagle staff and 2 flags to ASA on behalf of Kevin Hale, because Kevin Hale graduated from UCLA. So that was really nice of him. So yes, he's going to be joining us.
Yay.
Headman Kale Flores.
Yes.
Fuck that. Head woman is Monica Flores. Mm-hmm. Are they related?
Yeah, they're married.
Makes it easy to get one hotel room for 2 people.
Yes, one hotel for 2 people. Actually, there was a if you guys watched The Greatest Showman, Barnum in the movies, like, yeah, get married. He's like, oh, how are you going to do hotels for all these band members? Get married ones. They can share a room. So kind of funny. Okay. All right. Go ahead, James.
There was a family on the circuit back in the late 1980s. They was there. She was always getting picked as head woman dancer. Her husband was always head male dancer, head woman dancer, and their kids were always head dancers. They had like 11 kids. They were huge. It's like a ranch family, but their kids were always head dancers. And the POW committee says they're pretty good at what they do. They're not the best, but we save a lot of money. Serious conversation. Used to be with ACAP that used to run POWs down here in India and a couple other places. It was a long time ago.
So how many more staff members are there, James?
We have head girl is Aaliyah Hale. And I think I'm getting that first name wrong.
I think it's Alethea.
Alethea. Well, it's a TH, Alethea. And then head boy is Jason Villa. Villa. It's very small print on my monitor over here. I'm having to look. I need to blow it up more.
James, is it possible you need glasses?
No, because it's actually like monitor. I actually made the monitor really small at the font, and I'm currently making it bigger in a normal size. I don't have to like get like this to the monitor to look at the fine print on that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I saw you doing that, Stephen. Bring back Savea.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
I'm just pretending like I can't see you. Okay, it was a joke that fell flat on me.
Yeah, I did.
Go worth it. Just do a sympathy laugh, please. Audience, you too.
Ha 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 ha.
So Jason Vela is the head boy, head girl. In the head girl, we have
Alethea
Hale.
Alethea.
Hale's the Hale company that's part of that same family. They've been around quite a while.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They are actually really close with our family as well. The Hale family.
And the Hales will also be doing fry bread. That they'll be having their fry bread.
Lucy's Hale fry bread. Their fry bread recipe is so delicious. Let me tell you guys, their fry bread recipe, like, it was so funny. Dan did a taste test with me. He's like, "Oh, try this fry bread and try this fry bread. Which one do you think is theirs?" And I tried it. I'm like, this one. He's like, "How did you know?" I said, "Because it's good."
You know, as you talk about how great your fry bread is, I happen to have sent out my fry bread emissary to Los Angeles.
Really?
Yes. And we're going to go over, and we're trying to promote Late Night Craft Talk and UCLA Pow Wow.
Yes.
We're trying to give UCLA Pow Wow that Craft Talk bump.
But we actually have been spending a lot of money on promoting the UCLA Pow Wow, like a lot of money. I mean, with gas prices being what they are, we are spending a lot of money. I don't know if you know this, but we want to make sure you know we've been spending a lot of money on gas.
And we want to show you it's just not car gas. We're talking a helicopter.
Yes.
Yes. And so what we're going to actually show you, let me bring it in. She's actually our pilot for the late night craft talk helicopter is actually flying around LA, and let me bring her in. Let's show where they're going. So they're showing around and they're showing the sights of LA around there. Is that fry bread falling around the Coliseum Rose Bowl? It's fry bread. Okay. Other aspects of Los Angeles they have where you can go from the Powell is Los Angeles Beach, and there's fry bread falling on the beach. Okay, different. I think I know what's going on, but okay, you can visit Hollywood easily from UCLA from the Pow Wow, and so we got this sign. There's fry bread falling on the freeway and apparently bouncing on the asphalt.
Yes.
Okay, Hollywood sign, Pow Wow and go tour Hollywood. Lots of great things about, and there's more fry bread.
Yes.
I think I know what's happening. This happened back in Moab and Paula Reservation when we were talking about their powwows. Okay, obviously there's UCLA.
Ooh, that's such a pretty building.
Our helicopter's flying over, and there's fry bread falling on UCLA. Okay, Greater Los Angeles. There's Los Angeles, and apparently Los Angeles is getting bombarded with fry bread. There's only one person to be doing this way. I think I know who's flying the helicopter.
Hello. I'm flying the late night craft talk helicopter over Los Angeles to deliver my fabulous floating, fluffy fry bread.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my mom with the fry bread. Mom, you got to stop what you're doing. It's falling on everybody.
But my fry bread is light and fluffy. It should just float.
It's not going to float. It's falling and causing bruises and accidents. Please stop. Hello.
Well, I'll stop, but somebody's going to have to eat all this fry bread. I know.
That's a lot of fry bread.
I'll drop all this fry bread over the LA International Airport. My fry bread is world famous.
Do not drop it at LA International. No. Bad.
Okay. I'll just take my fry bread and fly to Las Vegas. James, I have your credit card. Bye.
And she just cut out and left before we ended this.
Wow.
As it happens to be that I happen to have a lot. I have a lot of savings. You can try that. I have a lot of pesos right here. Flipping around in pesos. This is seriously a lot of pesos. I don't know. I have anything on my desk from last trip to Mexico.
So what do you think of our advertising promotion for the UCLA Pow Wow?
I love it. I think that's foolproof. I think that's better than what I've done. I think that message is way better. Falling fry bread from the sky. I think it's perfect.
I mean, because then you can at least let people taste it, and they'll be like,
I know,
wow,
and they want to come.
Where can I get more? Where can I get more fry bread? Oh my gosh, the UCLA Pow Wow is coming up. I need to go eat fry bread there.
You're getting that fry bread bump from Late Night Craft Talk.
Yes, exactly. Oh my goodness, craziness.
Yep. Well, this show is going quick, and we even touched a whole lot of what we want to even do on this one.
No, right? So I have a question for you, Cheyenne. And maybe this would be a good question for people that don't know about powwows. So tell us about intertribals, like the intertribals. What are the intertribals?
So intertribal songs are songs that the drum plays, and it invites everybody out into the arena to dance. At most powwows, even if you're not in regalia, we like to bring everybody out to dance. It's kind of just a way for intertribes, for people from other tribes to mingle, kind of way. It's just a way to kind of get the audience involved and to see everybody dance instead of doing like exhibitions where just one style dances.
Mm-hmm. How about what is grand entry?
So grand entry is usually the first thing after gourd or bird, whatever they do at that specific powwow. But it's bringing in the eagle staff and all of the flags and kind of bringing all the dancers into the arena. And then there's a flag song and a victory song. And so it's kind of just like blessing the arena in a way so that, it kind of commences a day of dancing. Okay. What is a gourd dance? So gourd dance, it usually happens before grand entry, and it's usually comprised of veterans. Most times it does. And the drum will play a song, and then there's it's a mix of sitting and standing, but it's with a gourd, and they dance along to the song or whatever.
So with that, when you bring in, hold on.
Oh, we're switching.
We're trying to make up our minds which side of the screen we're going to be on. No, don't do that.
Okay. So We have a question from a viewer, and they're asking, have you ever thought about having an education day when kids from elementary school can come and learn about powwow before a day before it starts?
That I think I always think education about powwows is a good idea for both non-natives and natives, partially because it's good to kind of introduce kids to that. I think it's an important way to kind of teach about Native Americans rather than like what natives are taught or what we are taught in school about natives. And like the more you know, like the better decisions you can make about things that you say about natives moving forward, and just like your education as a whole. I would love to work with the schools around LA to help them out with that. But yeah, I think that would be a really good idea.
So
The only thing is, I mean, a lot of it's a great idea, and a lot of pals talk about that. But you've got such a small group putting it on.
Yeah.
That it's just one more aspect to pile on, which is a great thing. But
I
like
think
I said, just one more thing to do for a small group.
It's a great suggestion. It's a great suggestion for the future.
Yeah, it's definitely something that could be like a whole committee on its own to do.
Yeah,
like an outreach.
Yeah, that's one of the things that actually brings up is that, well, first of all, we're talking about parts of powwow, but we talked about grand entry. Should we go ahead and talk about what some of the head staff specifically for, what their function is?
Yes.
And we can go ahead and start off with the arena director. Richard DeCrane's the arena director. What does the arena director do? What is their job?
So most of the time, the arena director, kind of what it sounds like, he directs aspects that happen in the arena, and he's also in charge of making sure that everyone who's coming into the arena is being respectful, and that spectators and dancers are acting respectful. And he's also in charge of, like, when dancers are having their coming out, he kind of takes over that role for bringing dancers into the arena. So he kind of just like makes sure everything is happening, that all is going well with grand entry and stuff like that.
Yeah, organize any requests for a special or anything like that that comes in. Work with the MC on that one. Let me tell you, a good arena director and MC are joined at the hip and like are thinking, synchronized. I'm trying to find a fancier word for synchronized, but you know what I mean on that one. So how about the MC?
So the MC he has his own booth, and he's pretty much just like either narrating what's going to be happening, narrating specials, or telling us stories about what kind of dance is happening, what's being exhibitioned. A lot of the time, some MCs do a prayer before, but yeah, they're pretty much just in charge of kind of being like a narrator of the whole event.
Okay. You have a head judge is Lambert Yazzie. What contest categories do you have for the powwow?
So for women's, we have jingle, fancy, and then southern and northern cloth / buckskin. And then for men, we'll have, I think we're doing grass, fancy. I'm not entirely, it depends on how many. If we have a lot of chicken dancers, sometimes there's not that many chicken dancers, and then straight. So.
Okay. So you have head judge Lambert Yazzie. Obviously, they're going to have to organize the judges, do the scoring and whatnot.
Yeah.
For this. And then head gourd, Steve Bohe, we kind of talked about what the gourd dancers does. What's the head gourd dancer do specifically with the gourd dancing?
So for like behind the scenes, he's kind of mostly in charge of bringing gourd dancers. I've talked to Steve multiple times, and he's also going to be bringing some flag bearers from the Golden State Gourd Society, which he's part of. And so he works really closely with the flag bearers to kind of bring them into the arena. And yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about we'll go ahead and put it into one question, but you got the head woman, head man, head girl, head boy. What is their job collectively? I mean, it's all largely kind of the same thing.
Right. Yeah. So they'll be part of the beginning part of grand entry. And kind of how I saw it as I was growing up is it's always kind of good to have a role model of somebody in the Native community. And I always think it's really important that head man, head woman, head boy, head girl are good role models and something that you can look up to. And not only that, it's also in a way that they can give back to their communities by, representing their communities and traveling to powwows and doing different things like that. And it's also just a really good opportunity, especially for the kids, for the head boy and the head girl, to kind of build a more responsible role in the powwow arena. I think it's different when you just come and dance, but when you have the responsibility of being the head staff, you have to be out at every intertribal. You're expected to be out doing all of the honor songs and stuff like that. I think it kind of builds responsibility within kids as well.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. And then host Southern Drum, host Northern Drum. A lot of people don't know the difference. Even some folks that come over and have been visiting powwows for years that are obviously not native or not part of the general powwow community, but come and watch that still don't know what is the difference between a Northern drum and a Southern drum.
Well, from my understanding, Northern drums are usually more fast and upbeat, those types of dances. So they're just usually faster. And then Southern drums are usually more slower songs, and there are also different like lyrics within each category as well.
Well, the singing style is a bit different between one and the other.
Yeah.
Definitely. Some of those Southern contest songs those guys can get jamming, but definitely more guttural. The singing styles, where they evolve from, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Even like with the Southern powwows, you can have a fire in the middle in the Southern style powwow. Drum. Typically, there's a drum in the middle of the Southern powwow, while Northern's going to have it off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Whole lot of differences. You can find mostly Northern style powwows in California, but you get some good, strong Southern ones with that. But yeah, definitely. And powwows being open to the public. What can the public expect? What can the public do when they come to visit the powwow?
And what's an etiquette?
Yeah.
And etiquette.
Yep. That was gonna be the next question.
Okay.
Yeah. So especially for our powwow, it's good. The people who are visiting are mostly going to be students. So for our powwow, it's mostly inviting them into the powwow arena as long as they're being respectful. And I think that that's one of the most important things, is knowing where to step in. And that's part of the arena director and MC's job, to let everyone know when non-natives can participate or spectators can participate in certain things, like intertribals, round dances and stuff like that. But just be really open to the stuff that you're going to see as well. A lot of people who've never experienced powwow will come in and see completely different stuff than you would typically see. And then also with the photography, to be respectful of people who don't want to be taken pictures, like who don't want you to, take their picture. Be respectful of those in regalia who don't appreciate that. And then also when we're doing like our flag songs, photos are not to be taken either.
So photos are okay during grand entry.
Mm-hmm.
Photos are okay during contests.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what if someone wants to take a picture of someone? Like what's the proper etiquette to do that?
We would go up and respectfully ask, say, would you mind if I took a picture of you or whatever? And if they say no, that's not a big deal. A lot of people don't want that, but don't try and take a picture like from the side. Tons of people used to do that to me, and as an 8-year-old, how was I supposed to do anything about it? But people will get really upset if you're like off to the side.
And it's not as understood quickly, and it's assumed about pictures in the Instagram culture, social media culture of instant post, and then I'll
so basically you need to ask if it's okay. Don't just take a picture of people walking around the powwow. Like if they're in the arena and they're dancing during grand entry, or if they are dancing during contests, it's okay. Another thing to pay attention to is that listen to what the MC is saying, because if something is happening, if there's some kind of ceremony or some kind of like say an eagle feather drops, or say something happens where they have to do a special song for that, make sure to pay attention to what the MC is saying, because the MC would say, hey, this is not okay for photography.
Right.
Yes, Sabea said general rule of thumb is that the MC will point out when it's appropriate, but general rule of thumb is that in the arena taking pictures, it's there. It's going to happen. The MC will tell you if it's not to take pictures of that. Assume that you're not going to intertribals are okay, grand entries, whatnot, opening prayer, the invocation, and the the benediction at the end. Obviously not.
Yes.
And then individuals outside the POW arena, taking pictures of individuals outside the arena, ask.
Right.
And that's usually the way it goes. But, one thing is another question to follow up on this one, and I think that will help ease the minds of the first-time visitor for now native to a powwow, is that you will have some that won't go over. And especially in these days on college campuses, as forward-thinking as they are and sensitive to other cultures, to the point that you have a person that will want to come and not offend, to the point that they not walking on eggshells, but they're scared to ask. They're scared to walk someplace. They don't know if they look left, if that's going to be a cultural taboo, and they're just afraid to ask questions, not to embarrass themselves, but not to be offensive. What is your best advice on that?
Well, I would say most Native people don't mind being asked questions. I had a lot of people come up to me and ask me questions. Native people, we're not really afraid to, say, I dance this style because X, Y, and Z. Or most Native people won't mind being like, yeah, this is a powwow. We come together and we do this, this, and this. Most Native people are more than willing to answer any questions. At our powwow, our Native group is going to have an informational booth. And so you will be able to, if you don't really feel like asking a dancer something that you're comfortable with, you're always more than welcome to go up to that informational booth and ask any questions. You can direct them to me. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that people have. But I wouldn't be scared. Native people, I know we kind of look, we look a little scary sometimes, but most of the time we're really more than happy to answer any questions that people have, because we want it to be not only a space for Native people, but for an educational space, so that moving forward, we can continue to have these cultural events and we can continue to pass on the culture. And the only way that we can do that is by educating everyone, not just Native people.
Yeah. So, people that come and visit, come, ask questions, be open.
Mm-hmm.
Do not be afraid to be embarrassed. You might do something wrong, but you know what? People are there to learn, share, and by definition, POW's there for everyone. I remember one POW in Oceanside years ago, we had some people that are some of the Australia Aboriginals. I don't know some of their nations at all, but the Aboriginals are there and they're dressed up, and then we had some Ohlone there. So in the grand entry, we had traditional dress and dance for the Australian Aboriginals, and we had some Maori from New Zealand, and we had some Ohlone from California tribes. He's from Central Coast, and it's quite an eclectic mix of dancers coming to the POW arena on that grand entry. It's pretty cool. Along the Aztec dancers really spiced it up too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then was the regular POW dancers, the northern and southern, traditional, whatnot.
So I would say, if you do see someone you're really admiring their regalia, just say regalia, right? You're going to say regalia. Don't say
costume.
Don't say costume.
You say costume. This is the look you get.
Yeah.
So don't say costume. Okay, it's regalia, right? But if you find someone that you are just amazed by their work, go up to them and say, hey, I just wanted to let you know you have beautiful beadwork, you have a beautiful regalia. And, if you don't mind, could you tell me a little bit about it? I mean, obviously don't ask them this when they're going on to the, when it looks like they're going to go out and start dancing. Because they're probably going to say, well, I can't really talk right now. But, most people, they like Cheyenne said, most natives would like to talk about like their regalia if they're not like going somewhere where they can't really talk, or ask them about what their tribe is, where's their tribe, where are they from? That's also a great way to talk to people and get to know them and, break the ice.
Right.
Let it be known that there are some cultural elitists out there. I'm going to say it because it's always been a bug of mine. You get some you could say a cultural elitist. Let's just say that those that are Native and a powwow and are arrogant about it, and if you approach someone and ask a question about the regalia, and they brush you off or kind of a jerk, they act like a jerk. It's not you. That person in particular may be a jerk. Most dancers and most people in the POW community will be very open and very welcoming to talk to someone. But also remember, don't walk across the arena.
Oh God, yeah. No. Don't do it. Please don't do it.
Indio Powwow, 1997. It was still outside. It's when they're still running 2 a year. This guy, one of the vendors, I don't know what this dude was thinking. He's got his dog. Nobody particularly liked the guy, but he's got his dog, and he decides it's around the booth, and it goes inside the arena and poops. And you have this other guy, big dude. I'll say his name was Andy Bark at the time. This dude had a great guy, loved his sense of humor, but this dude went Krakatoa.
Oh.
He's over there, and you see him. He goes, "What? What?" Walks off, and you hear his voice from like a couple few hundred yards away. Comes back. You see the guy with the bag and a shovel, and he's out the arena. This dude's standing on the side, going just laying in, wagging the finger, and he didn't stop talking. And this guy went back to this booth, and this dude still. I mean, you could hear the dude for over half an hour going after this guy. I mean, I'm like, we're all going, ooh, he's gonna get it. We're watching, and he's still going. We're like, oh, this dude's not only pounding him down, he's pounding him down like he's kicking dirt, lighting on fire, and then kicking more dirt, and then grid digging it up and kicking more dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty livid.
Yeah. So definitely, we're giving you guys some good advice on things to not do and to do at the powwows. And we're actually almost out of time today, James. It's crazy.
Let's do the quick roundabout of do's and don'ts at a powwow. Don't touch the pretty feathers.
Oh, yes.
Don't walk across the arena.
Yes. Don't take pictures without permission.
Don't go over another dancer next to the arena and take selfies to post on your Instagram or make a TikTok video. Don't make a TikTok video there.
And actually, I love dogs, and you guys, I always tell you how much I love dogs. But generally, dogs are not welcome at powwows. Just so you know, service animals are okay.
Right.
But service animals, I mean, they have to be under control.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you have a dog and you say it's a service animal and it's running all over off a leash, that's not a service animal.
Yeah.
Great to put in there. Let's go ahead and finish off the do's and don'ts here. Don't make making rain jokes. You will not only get the look, you will get a heel on your face, your forehead.
Yeah.
Do ask questions. Do be open. And don't think it's just a one-way street where you think you're going to learn about the culture, because you get in a great conversation. There's a two-way learning on that one with everyone. It's about sharing. It's about openness. And do open your heart. Do open your...
Sorry.
Mochi must have done something. Anyway, do open your heart. Do enjoy yourself. And do take in the spirit. That is a great powwow. We got 2 minutes to kill, and Savea took off.
Dance party.
Dance party. Obviously, you gonna have any hand drum exhibitions?
I'm trying to find some people to do hand drums. We're definitely going to do bird singing at dinner break. But yeah, I'm trying to find some fun dinner break things for people to see, because I think most people typically know the drumming that happens during the powwow, but I'm trying to incorporate bird and other types of like dances and songs. So
that's perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and then also, Cheyenne, just so you know, we have a Facebook user that says, I can test all of the fry bread booths. Just so
yeah,
you know.
and then let you know which one was the best, so we make sure we invite them back.
So make sure, Cheyenne, you look out for a person called a Facebook user.
Okay, I will.
They're going to come up to you, and they're going to say, they will test all the fry bread booths for you. Okay.
I like it.
And their name is Facebook user. If they'll show you their student ID, it'll say Facebook user.
Facebook user.
I like it.
Let's just gotta hope there's nobody out there named after Walmart.
There's also this: 2 steps are a must. Guys must say yes to the ladies.
Yes.
Definitely.
Anyway,
1 minute to kill.
Okay. Well, guess what, James? Do you want to announce next week's?
All right, next week, folks, we are doing. Remember that about 2 weeks ago we had Dan the Bee Man on. Bee Man Dan on, and he talked about beekeeping and removal of the bees. And we talked about there will be a part 2 of the show where Savea goes out and does bee removal with.
And I get stung several times, and I still have like sores on my body.
We're doing that next week, folks. Seriously, Savea showed me some of the footage. She went out and did this almost a week ago. She showed me some of the footage. Wow, that looked cool and
Was
buzzy.
very, very cool. I mean, honestly, guys, it was a great experience. I really do recommend if you guys ever have a beehive at your home that you contact a bee rescue, a bee removal service. You could contact Dan, Bee Man Dan, if you are in Los Angeles, Orange County, Riverside, and San Diego. He actually covers a wide area. So, but it really was an amazing experience, and I really recommend everyone to get involved if they do have a hive. And yeah, so that's going to be our show next week. We're really excited about that.
Yeah, let me go ahead and get it one more time on to show the current flyer for the UCLA Pow Wow. Let's go ahead and zoom in on that a little bit. So let's go down. Remember, Miss UCLA crowning on Saturday, May 7th. Contest dancing, drum contest, gourd dancing. See the head staff. Most importantly, May 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, UCLA. Presented by the
And
American Indian
free
Association.
admission, guys. So the money that you save on paying for admission, you should use that money to give money to all of the vendors all around with the food and all the good stuff. Anyway,
And don't be afraid to even make a donation directly to the American Indian Student Association, which I
oh,
assume
and
that
then
you
you
do
can
a
buy
donation.
t-shirts. There's going to be
Huh?
t-shirts for sale. There's t-shirts for sale. So you can buy t-shirts and you'll just have a really great time.
And definitely
Absolutely.
come up to me. I'll be there, acting like a crazy person, probably because something's going wrong. But yeah, come and say
Yep.
hi.
Yeah.
I like meeting people. Like I keep meeting people and I go to dancing for. They're like, I know you, and I'm like, wow, that's so cool.
So come
So
over there. You'll see the Cheyenne Faulkner. She will be signing autographs.
Yeah.
There'll be a line.
So if you
She'll be over there with dark glasses and a wide brimmed hat, slightly tilted,
Yes.
with long sleeves, going,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
sign autograph.
So then also remember, if you see Cheyenne hiding in a corner, like going like this,
Yeah.
leave her alone for a little.
If she's petting her cat right there in the corner, going, be easy on her. Wait to ask for an autograph.
Yes. So yeah, just there's you'll be able to tell if there's a time and a place when you can say hi to her.
The one thing we know is when Cheyenne gets stressed, she'll go, I got to go to my happy place. Happy place. Oh, I am here. I'm at a powwow.
Exactly. There you go.
All right.
Okay.
So
That time, it is about time because we're 3 minutes over now. We're doing pretty good on that one. All right, folks. Remember next week, Bee Man Dan, we will be back on the show. We'll be moving not a small hive of bees. Seriously, a big hive
yes,
of bees.
it's insane.
And with that, Cheyenne, thank you again for being on the show.
Yeah,
Just
thanks for
being
having
on the show.
One more time, and you get the five-time club jacket.
Yes.
Yes. And remember,
And you still have 15 more
remember,
times to go to Jen
it's gonna
Uchonsky.
be like pretty spectacular. I mean, it's like beaded and it's all like sequined and everything.
Want it. I want it.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, folks, this has been another episode of Late Night Craft Talk. We'll see you next week. Been fun, Cheyenne. We love it when you're on. Huge captains. Aw, ain't he cute?